Hi everybody, this is Dan. Today I want to show you a little something about picking locks. Now, I am not a professional locksmith, nor am I a professional criminal. Uh, I do this just as a hobby to keep my mind and fingers agile. And there may come a time when I need to get into a lock that I've lost the key for, something like that, and this skill might come in handy. Now, this is a little padlock that I bought yesterday. It's the kind of thing that you might get to put on a toolbox or a cabinet in your garage, something like that. It's not something you want to keep the crown jewels locked behind. It's just something that's a little bit of extra protection than just a simple latch. And, it's simple keyed lock. Works pretty well. Uh, hardened steel shackle, everything. The key only turns one direction. That's important to remember too. Now, this is a tension wrench. This is used to hold tension on the lock cylinder while you pick the lock. Now, that's important because that tension will help keep the pins in place once you've got the pin to the right location. In other words, the shear line, there's a line, physical line along the body of the lock. And what the key does is it makes sure that the pins that have varying lengths to their line, those pins go up against the notches in the key, and when they do, that shear line lines up and the cylinder can turn. So what we want to do is hold tension on those pins so that when they line up, they stay there when we get them there with the pick. Now, the most common picking method is called scrubbing or sweeping, and basically it's while you keep the tension there, you use the lock pick to scrub back and forth along the pins until they line up. You're not actually, looking at the interior of the lock to see, are these things lining up? No, you're just basically getting a random shake in there to get them to line up. Now, lock picks themselves come in a variety of shapes on the end. A lot of it is just down to personal preference. Different locks have different shapes inside, so it's just a matter of finding what works out best for you. Now, this is kind of a slow method here, but I've picked this lock a few times with just the pick and tension wrench. This is the real exciting part here, yeah. we go. Now that doesn't make a lot of noise. It's not real fast, but it's not a whole lot of protection. Now I want to show you something else. It's called a picket gun. This is a little battery-powered tool, rechargeable. The brand name is Klom, K-L-O-M. And what this does is the tool has interchangeable lock picks on the end of it. Now inside, if we open this up, you'll see there's a rotating shaft, and what that does is that goes against this cam to move it up and down, which then moves the end of the tool up and down rather quickly. Now this can definitely speed up the process of getting into a lock if you need to. Of course, it also makes a bit more noise. But as you can see, it does seem to work much more quickly. So keep in mind that when you get a lock to lock something up, you're not going to keep a determined person out, a determined thief out, but you are going to slow them down. And the most you can slow them down increases your chances of keeping things secure.